Do you want to master Class 9 Bio Chapter 3 Biodiversity in few minutes? How many kinds of organisms are on Earth? There are around 10 million kinds of organisms, but only a third have been studied. What are the principal groups of organisms? Prokaryotes, protists, fungi, plants, and animals. Define biodiversity. Biodiversity is the variety of life in different ecosystems. What is flora and fauna? Flora, diversity of plants. Fauna, diversity of animals. What factors affect flora and fauna in a region? Climate, altitude, soil, and presence of other species. How is biodiversity distributed on Earth? It's richest in the tropics, moderate in temperate regions, and lowest in polar regions. How did biodiversity evolve? It evolved over 4 billion years. Why is biodiversity important? It provides food, medicine, industrial materials, maintains ecosystems, and regulates the environment. How many known types of animals and plants are there? 1.5 million animals and 0.5 million plants. Why is learning about all species difficult? Organisms vary greatly in size, habitat, and behavior. Differentiate between taxonomy and systematics. Taxonomy classifies organisms, while systematics classifies and studies evolutionary history. What are the aims of classification? To identify organisms and understand their relationships. What are taxa and taxonomic hierarchy? Taxa are classification groups. The hierarchy goes from kingdom to species. When can't the interbreeding criterion be used? In asexually reproducing organisms. What is the classification of humans? Kingdom, Animalia, phylum, chordata, class, Mammalia, order, primates, family. Hominidae, genus, Homo, species, H. sapiens. What is the classification of a pea plant? Kingdom, Plantae, phylum, Magnoliophyta, class, Magnoliopsida, order, Fabaceae, family, Fabaceae, genus, Pisum. Species, P. sativum. Define species. A group of organisms that can interbreed and produce fertile offspring. What is a mule? A sterile hybrid from a male donkey and a female horse. What was Aristotle's contribution to classification? He classified organisms into plants and animals. What is binomial nomenclature? A system of naming organisms using two names, genus and species. Who proposed the three-kingdom classification system? Ernst Haeckel. Why was the two-kingdom system rejected? It did not classify organisms like Euglena properly and ignored differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. What is the five-kingdom classification based on? Cell structure and modes of nutrition. Give two characteristics of fungi. They are multicellular, have cell walls with chitin, and absorb nutrients. What organisms are in kingdom Monera? Prokaryotic, unicellular organisms like bacteria and cyanobacteria. What are prions and viroids? Prions, infectious proteins. Viroids, infectious RNA particles. Are viruses living or non-living? They are in between. They need a host to reproduce. How does deforestation affect biodiversity? It causes soil erosion, reduces rainfall, and destroys habitats. What causes biodiversity loss in Pakistan? Loss of habitats, overpopulation, poverty, and low literacy. What is an endangered species? A species at risk of extinction, like the Indus dolphin. What is an extinct species? A species with no living members, like dinosaurs. Name organizations working for biodiversity conservation. IUCN, WWF, and Pakistan's Ministry of Environment. Name the national animal and bird of Pakistan. Animal, markhor. Bird, chakor. What is an ecosystem? A community of living and non-living things interacting together. What is systematics? It classifies organisms and traces their evolutionary history. What is the role of E. Chatton? He introduced terms for prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. What organisms are in kingdom Protista? Unicellular eukaryotes like amoeba and algae. How do fungi differ from animals? Fungi absorb food and have cell walls. Animals ingest food and lack cell walls. What are migratory birds? Birds that move to different regions seasonally, like the houbara bustard. Why is the houbara bustard important? It's hunted heavily in Pakistan, leading to its decline. How does overhunting affect biodiversity? It causes species to become endangered or extinct. What are the characteristics of plants? They are multicellular autotrophs that perform photosynthesis. What are the characteristics of animals? They are multicellular heterotrophs without cell walls. How do bacteria obtain food? Some are autotrophs, photosynthesis, and others are heterotrophs. What is the importance of classification? It helps identify organisms and understand their relationships. Why are scientific names important? They avoid confusion and are used universally. Give 2 rules for scientific naming. Names are italicized, and the genus name starts with a capital letter. What is the role of WWF? It works to conserve nature and protect endangered species. Why is the biodiversity in Pakistan declining? Due to deforestation, hunting, and habitat destruction. Name a key benefit of biodiversity. It provides essential resources like food, medicine, and clean air.